The final encounter. Ramona and Dwight face an unthinkable alien horror. Dwight had always heard stories about aliens, but he never believed they were real. He had always been skeptical of stories people told and believed they were nothing but urban legends, but one day all of that would change. Dwight had been living a normal life until one seemingly normal day when he and his friend, Ramona, decided to go out for an adventure and explore the nearby woods. They had set up camp, eaten dinner, and were about to head out for a hike when Dwight saw something strange in the sky. He thought he was seeing things until he looked closer and saw a large UFO hovering in the sky above them. Ramona was in shock and she could barely move as the UFO descended from the sky, landing with a loud thud on the ground directly in front of them. Dwight and Ramona were both in a state of horror, but quickly snapped out of it when they heard a loud voice coming from the UFO. The voice was strange and unlike anything Dwight had ever heard before. It was heard that the aliens were here to visit Earth and to observe humans. They briefly explained the purpose of their mission, but the conversation was interrupted when Dwight and Ramona realized they were being taken aboard the UFO. Once they were on board, Dwight and Ramona were taken to separate chambers where they were to spend the night. Dwight was terrified and he feared for his and his friend's life. As he lay in his chamber, he heard a voice telling him to remain calm and that everything would be all right. The next morning Dwight awoke to find himself in a new environment. He had been taken to a cave by some of the aliens, who explained to him that Ramona had been taken to a different cave and that they were both to remain there until they were able to meet and be reunited. Dwight spent the next few days in the cave, desperately trying to find Ramona and make contact with the aliens. After a few days the two were finally reunited and they decided to try and find a way to escape. As they made their way out of the cave, Dwight noticed a bright light coming from outside. When he looked, he realized that their UFO was surrounded by dozens of other UFOs. Dwight and Ramona had stumbled into an alien invasion. The pair quickly ran back into the cave as the UFOs began to open fire, raining down laser blasts and explosions around them. Dwight and Ramona managed to find a safe spot to hide and watched in horror as the aliens began to take hostages from nearby towns and villages. The scene in front of them became more chaotic as the alien forces rounded up more and more humans to be taken back to their home planet. It seemed like there was no escape until Dwight noticed something strange in the sky. He realized that the UFOs were not alone. His heart raced as he saw a fleet of human spacecraft coming to their rescue. The human forces were able to overpower the alien force and Dwight and Ramona were rescued. They were quickly taken back to safety and Dwight couldn't believe what he had just witnessed. He had seen firsthand the horror of an alien invasion, and knew he would never be able to forget it. Dwight and Ramona eventually returned to their normal lives, but Dwight continued to feel a sense of paranoia. Everywhere he went he couldn't help but think that aliens were watching him. One evening Dwight and Ramona decided to go out on a walk. They were in the middle of the woods when Dwight noticed a strange glow in the sky. He looked closer and realized it was coming from a large spacecraft hovering above them. Dwight and Ramona stopped in their tracks as the ship slowly descended and landed in front of them. Dwight's blood froze as he realized that he and Ramona were once again face to face with aliens. The two were quickly taken aboard the UFO and taken to a dark chamber. Suddenly, Dwight heard a voice. It was the same voice he had heard before when he was taken by the aliens. It was then that Dwight realized he and Ramona had been taken for a specific purpose, to be experimented on by the aliens. Dwight and Ramona both screamed in terror as the aliens began to perform gruesome experiments on them. The pain was unbearable and the two were slowly dying with no hope of escape. As Dwight and Ramona lay there in agonizing pain, the alien leader looked at them both and said, "You humans thought you could overpower us. Now, you will become part of our experiment for eternity." With that, Dwight and Ramona succumbed to the pain and died in the alien ship. Their horrifying experiment had come to a devastating end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and tell us what you think in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe.